and the home of the brave. Oh, hello. Welcome to the 4th of July show. How are you all doing? So many people in the room already. What the hell? Having a coffee? Have my patriotic American flag behind me? It's a very pretty one, right? That was a last minute suggestion from the big guy, which I think looks very, very nice. Welcome to my big time conservative Republican podcast. Because my thumbnail looks like Matt Walsh anyway, so what the fuck? None of those things are true. Andrew Wolkowicz starting off the show with Canadian $2 first. Ha ha! Upvote and subscribe, everyone. You are a legend, sir. Franco Fiore, good Thursday to all. Please upvote. Please upvote. We have weird algorithm things going on. I don't know why people are being unsubscribed. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible feeling for me. I'm sure it's a horrible feeling for you because you're all so loyal and amazing. Melly C from across the pond says, Happy 4th of July. Is there a song? Is there there's the Star Spangled Banner. There's God Bless America. Has anybody ever written a Happy 4th of July song? I don't know that they've done that. Ray from the west of Ireland. Mostly been eating mackerel today with brown bread and a bit of sand. Not pebbles. It's a lot of actually beautiful sand in the west. I've never, ever stepped foot on any of the errands, which makes no sense at all, but I've never done so. I would love to. Ray says, number 11, that will do, pig. Ooh, that sounds mean. Franco Fiore says, Happy 4th to all my American friends. Well, thank you so much. Dean is number 12. That's a terrible upvote. I know. I should have I should have the show. Hold on, I'm going to turn this up. It seems a little crap. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I don't know. Sometimes I have to check this to make sure it's let me look at my settings and my audio, make sure it's automatically adjusting. It is, and it is indeed. ... We know it's working. It could also be the volume I have in my headphones. That could be it too. Travis Watts says, Happy 4th, America. What is it? 200 and I can't do the math that fast. 1776. 200 and change. Will that work? Number 19, Travis Watts. Damian Griffith is here. Happy 4th of July, Dirk, and everyone that could make it to the stream. Yes, indeed. So it is the 4th of July, and now where I live, okay, where Asheen used to live, where Emmett used to live, and Dana used to live, where I still currently reside, is right next to the East River of New York. So if you walk out my front door, and you make a right, you see the entire, you used to see the entire skyscrapers of New York City, Manhattan. They have been obscured by luxury condos, so very tall and expansive and taking up so much space that you can almost see nothing. However, there is, or used to be every year on the East River, the biggest fireworks display known to mankind, and that is the 4th of July fireworks special, which is paid for and sponsored by a very famous American department store called Macy's. Macy's is the oldest department store chain, I think, left. Retail is dead, as we all know. All the great stores you grew up and your mother shopped and bought you shoes and great outfits and all the stuff you got, especially in America, is mostly gone. We've lost the biggest ones: Kmart, Sears. Now, Sears and Roebuck was the staple of American commerce. It was where every American family took their station wagon or their saloon, depending on where you're from, put it in a big parking lot. You went in there and you bought your clothes, you bought your air conditioners, your refrigerators, your tools, everything a home could need in the United States of America. And that went out of business. The .coms, Amazon just destroyed everybody because we're all fat and lazy in America, and we just love to sit on our arses and say chocolates, beep beep beep, ooh, ice cream, beep beep beep, ooh, and it just shows up. You don't have to go and get a refrigerator now. You can just have them deliver it to your house, which you probably could have done for a fee before, but now it's all, you can just go on Amazon and buy a refrigerator or a range or a stove, whatever it is that you want. But we've lost a lot of them. But Macy's still exists, and Macy's, it's the largest department in the, it used to be. Maybe Harrods is bigger. It's possible. Somebody in the chats, you can correct me if I am wrong. But it used to say the world's largest department store on the side of the building, which is in Herald Square in kind of the 34th Street and Broadway area of New York City. So they put on this big extravaganza every year. And we used to have a party every 4th of July. We would have, friends and family over, drinks and cocktails and food on the deck. And then we would all go up to the roof and watch the fireworks and all of that stuff. And we did that for the better part of 25, 26 years until the Game of Thrones came to town, the dragon breathed fire all over us, and we no longer can do any of those things. And also this year, there's no fireworks on the East River. They've moved them to the New Jersey side, so facing all of America. This way it's facing just Queens, Brooklyn, and Long Island. And now, so you can view all of the fireworks. Well, we won't see them at all. And the best part is we won't hear them at all, because after sitting through 31 years of fireworks displays, I don't have Laverne. I used to have Dingo, my dog, and they hide and they run and they hate it. And, they don't know that stupid humans, the people that bring them food and stuff, that they love to go screaming when things blow up. I don't like fireworks anymore just because I think it scares the shit out of birds and animals and all the nature. They're going about their business and we start blowing shit up, and it's enough to drive a man crazy. JHB, $9.99 upvoted with this IWC. Ooh, looking beautiful. Let's give you a bang, bang, boom for that. Let's go with this one. Oisin O'Malley is in on the channel. How do you like the flag? Thanks for the idea. It's a great look. Maybe I should do it daily. I'll do what will I do? I'll do there's no word. I'm trying to think of a word that would work with like this flag and should I do like a conservative hour? How will that go down? Or maybe it'll be gangbusters. Who the hell knows? The movie Babe. Cromwell, James Cromwell, right? Oh God, I haven't seen that movie since it came out. I'm looking for a good film to watch tonight. I've been watching a lot of Paul picks very obscure films, which are usually not available on any streaming service, regardless of the big ones. The other day, he chose a movie called Cops and Robbers, which was from 1973, I believe. First of all, I love watching old New York movies where you see, what New York looked like back in the day. Some of it I know, some of it I don't remember, but this was in the 70s, so I remember it. And it turns out that these guys lived in an area that I know very well. It was about a bunch of cops who get so sick of everything, they just turn to robbing the securities exchange. And it was actually a really fun movie. So, I don't know. What's a good movie? You guys made me watch The Matrix. I really enjoyed it. I've seen several since. What did I watch? I've watched a couple of movies. I saw Pretty Woman, which I had never seen. It just looked like a stupid rom-com to me, so I never saw it. But what's a good suggestion for a film? For a 4th of July kind of celebratory. I like comedy. I like drama. Nothing too heavy tonight. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think so. Damien Griffith says, Happy 4th of July, Dirk, and everyone that can make the stream. Thank you so much. You said that, and I repeated it. Dirk, I love the intro. Thanks so much. Sheen made that. I contributed the vocals to it, as I do with all the shit here. It's the most luxurious job in the world now. I don't have to write anything with my band. I do. It's like Emmett writes all these amazing songs, and he writes the melody, and he writes lyrics, and just sing it. And Oisin, he had an idea for the theme song for Bashers. And I did too. And then by the time we got around to finally collaborating on it, he had already had his so far down the chain. He goes, snip, snip, snip. And then the whole, I used that. And it's great. And I loved it. I loved it from the jump, from the absolute jump. I loved it. It's fun. You know what? It's funny when you don't collaborate for a long time. It is so luxurious to work with other creative people that can just surprise you. Instead of having to, I sit in my room and slog it out with the guitar and whatever, piano, whatever, working on songs and coming up with bass line, everything myself, when there are other people that are going to get handed it and change it and ruin it and everything. But when somebody just presents something that's already finished and it's really good, it's great. It's a great feeling as a musician. I suggest everyone try it. Time Flies says, "Hey, Dirk, happy 4th and the home of the brave." My whole family always used to say, "Why don't you go sing at a Mets game?" First of all, I don't even know how that works, and I'm very bad at that shit. But yeah, I could definitely do the anthem, no problem, and I would sing it straight. I wouldn't put any of that curly Q shit, the melisma, none of that junk. I would just go and belt that fucker out because you don't get to hear that. Everybody's like, smack. Smells like a swarm of bumblebees going by. Everybody ruins it, and they all have to do the big, stupid octave jump at the end. The song is really hard to sing to begin with. It is a very wide range song, but everybody's got to push it to the limits. Whitney Houston, which is a good version, but it was pre-recorded, so she bamboozled the living shit out of everybody. And I guess that was the beginning of the end when people started realizing that you could can something and people would believe it's live. There used to be a brand of tapes, cassette tapes, audio recording tapes called Memorex. I don't know if it still exists. I don't know what the purpose of it would be, but it used to say, "Is it live or is it Memorex?" Because you couldn't tell because the quality was so good. But of course, it wasn't good quality. It was tape, and tape sounds like shit. Well, cassette tapes do. I am a big advocate for recording on tape, and I would do so if I had the budget and the ability to do so, because I just think that the whole digital thing, as convenient as it all is, it just doesn't sound as good. And luckily for me and most of my compadres, we had the opportunity back in the day to record in big studios that had the big 2-inch machines with it was tape, recording tape on these giant reels that was 2 inches wide. You'd put 24 tracks on there, and that's how you'd make your record. And there was something about the sound of it that it was fatter, it was human, it just has this presence to it that digital, I mean, we're also used to it now, and it's so convenient. We can all make records in our kitchen or our toilet if we want to, and they do. But there was I almost feel bad when I think about I remember when Mr. North got signed, right? And we were friends for a couple of years by that point, and they lived around the block, and they were going to San Francisco to make their record with Jerry Harrison, and I was like, oh my god, so proud. And they went to one of the best studios in California, in the world, actually, with a very famous producer, and recorded it on big chunky 2-inch tape. And I don't know if it was mixed digitally, or I mean, at that point it probably could have been, probably to DAT, digital audio tape. But we all got to go to those big studios and know what it's like to go behind the glass and have the big console and the guy staring at you and doing things over or fixing this or punching something in. As if I go like, "I want to ride my bicycle." Ride wasn't good. Could you punch that in, please? "I want to ride." And then, it would be, they'd seamlessly, these guys were such magicians, they'd know exactly when to get you in it and it would sound perfect. Now it's just, you just go clunk with a pair of scissors on digital scissors and just drag it in. It's easy to go. How did I get on that whole thing? Oh, the national anthem. Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would just sing it like straight up tenor style, and that would be the end of it. Carolyn Martin, the girl with the wrench. Hello, all. Hello, happy 4th of July. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're staying away from the fireworks because you have lots of animals and they don't appreciate it. Ray Ray says, "Thank you, big fella." Well, thank you, big fella. Out on the sea. Have you met a siren yet? Or have you been enticed by a siren? You know the stories back in the day, the lighthouses, and you'd hear about all these shipwrecks. These ships would come up to the shoreline and they get wrecked upon the rocks, and it was all because these men who were lost at sea or out at sea for so many months, they would hear some beautiful siren's voice, and they would be so enchanted that they would steer their ships into oblivion, and the ships did crash like thunder. Time Flies got in at number 25. Oh, wait a second. Is there with number 25, number 25? Who is really number 25? And who is number 1? Andrew got in at number 1. That means he gets a daily Bastard, which is a new feature on the show. Dean, you got to send me. Do you have a WhatsApp? Dean, you have a WhatsApp, right? Dean, email me your WhatsApp. I owe you one from yesterday. Anybody who gets in at number 1 is going to get a daily Bastard private personal video email. Video, like when we talked about Cameo yesterday and how I think that's so shitty. I think it's fun to do, but I don't think it's fun to charge. I think it's unnecessary. I don't think we should be doing that. So anybody who gets in on the daily will get a daily. Just let me know how to, because emails some sort of don't work. Yesterday, Lord H, he got it, and I tried to send it, didn't work, kept coming back. So finally, we had a little chit chat on the email, and I got it to him. So, but I owe you one, Mr. Dean. So please tell me how I may deliver that. If you don't mind, it would be great. So who's number 25, Scotty Love or Time Flies? You guys tell me. Travis Watts, 97 degrees here in the Inland Empire, California. I got a lot of friends out, and Jimmy's out in LA. Mimi's now in Oregon. I reiterated yesterday. She went to a friend's 60th birthday party. They're all big. Most of them are deadheads. They like the Dead and Company and all that stuff. It's, like a camaraderie fest where people just kind of drink and dance and have a good time. They're drinking and smoking and having a party. I don't know if they smoke weed anymore. I don't know what people do. Melly C says Mindy's fireworks. That's right. Just her love alone will light up a room. That's for sure. Ray with the €5 euros super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you for sending me a $5 super sticker. I hope you're having a cider. What does a cider cost in Ireland right now? I know you're a cider guy. What does it cost to go to Londis or, whatever your favorite chain is? Go to Dunn's and get, what does it cost for a can of lager or a can of, I don't know. Because I know in Italy, because here it's about, if you're just getting a can, now if you buy it in the 6-pack or the 12-pack, it's much cheaper. But if you buy one, it's about $10 US, $8 to $10 US for one Budweiser or whatever, something fancier. I mean, I'm not that big a beer drinker. In the summertime, I like it. I was drinking beer after work a lot because it was stressful. I like Peroni, and it was $13 for 6 bottles. Now, if I got one bottle, it'd probably be $8, which is really crazy town. Everybody's saying I should watch Jaws, and I should. Andy M, A Bridge Too Far, amazing film. That's a great one, yeah. And I just watched that not so long ago. Ray says Jaws. Grosse Point Blank. I don't think I've ever seen that, ever. That's a great idea. I knew what you meant. It's in Michigan, Grosse Point, Michigan. I know. Agree with Jaws. Everybody's saying Jaws. Yeah, it is the ultimate 4th of July film, isn't it? It all takes place on. It's now, where's that supposed to be? In Long Island, right? Or New England? I always forget because it's been a while since I've seen it. I haven't seen it in so long that I need to refresh myself with how great it is. Early Spielberg, amazing. Ginch says huge swing and change of government to labor. Oh, it happened. Oh shit! Should we go look it up? Let's see. Hold on. Let me go to BBC, BBC One, BBC Two, BBC News. Let me go to BBC News. Let's see what happens. Big swing here. Labor set for general election landslide. Wow. Let's have a look. Let's take a look. Because I care what happens over there. My niece lives there. And so many of you beautiful people are there. Let's see what it says. It's a tab. Chrome tab. General election results. This is amazing. Most predicted seats. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, what does this all mean? Oh, geez, look at that. Home, Israeli Gaza war in Ukraine, India election. This is the election. Labor landslide predicted. Oh, wow. Wow. Conservative is 131, 410. That's a landslide, isn't it? And who's the guy? Forgive me, I don't know who it is. Look at this guy. Look like an Indian fella. He's a conservative guy? Wow. Liberals, Reform. Green parties will never win anything in any country, right? Isn't it so funny? Because everybody loves their petrol. Everybody loves their petrol. That's amazing. God knows what's going to happen here. We might have a new Democratic nominee within a week or so, because Biden just released a statement saying that don't worry, fellas. I just need more sleep. You know what's really weird? If anybody saw the post-debate press conference he did, he was completely normal and lucid and on top of his game. Like, is that medication? I don't know what the fuck that was. The Sandlot is a good lighthearted flick to watch on the 4th, especially for the baseball fan, and that would be me, because I am a baseball fan. I am a Mets fan. You know what I did today? I have this baseball hat from when the Mets were in the World Series last, and they got freaking creamed by the Kansas City Royals. It was a shutout. It was a sweep, big time sweep. I had gone to a game, and I got a hat for me and a hat for my friend Chris, whose birthday was coming up. And they didn't have my size, which is 7 3/8. So I got like the next size smaller, and it's never fit on me. So last night I went on the Google machine and I said, how do you do this? It said, just dip the hat in warm water, let it soak for 5 minutes, and then pull it onto your head and wear it for a couple hours, which I did. And now the hat fits me perfectly. It dried perfectly to the shape of me head. Isn't that unbelievable? Dean sent it already, so you'll have one right after the show. Thanks, Palio mine. Scotty Love says, whenever I hear someone wreck the anthem with all that, I wish for a Leonard Cohen anthem. Yeah, because it would have been, yeah, but he was Canadian, right? Have non-Americans sung the national anthem? If so, do they do that? Is it weird? It would be weird. Like, did Celine Dion ever do the national anthem? Who's like, oh, that's a great idea. What a great thing to do on today. And that song I'm not getting in trouble for. Best national anthems. Let's see. Hey, that's a great idea. No, I want to see a list of the best ones. Best 10. Let's do the best 10. I love that idea. I heard from my friend, my cousin Kathy today. She's the eldest, I should say, not oldest, of my cousins, and she lives in Arizona. I never had her number. She's in a slightly different generation sort of than I am, but really, really, really cool. And it was really nice. We talked about stuff for a little while. Does anybody see this? Hold on.
Hello,
Tell me
Beverly
if you guys
Hills,
can hear
London,
this.
Paris,
It's
Rome,
Long Island
and
Watch Guy. His commercial.
For this list, we're taking a look.
His commercial is on 24 hours a day. Can you guys hear the audio from this? It'll be fun, right? Alanis Morissette did the Stanley Cup. Isn't she Canadian? Isn't she Canadian? Don't you think? Alpha Foxtrot is here. Good afternoon, fellas. I'm going to get everybody in before I start playing videos. I can play the national anthem and not get demonetized, right? Because it's the national anthem. Unless Francis Scott Key's going to come and sue me. Field of Dreams. Yeah. You know what? You want to know my favorite baseball? Two of my favorite baseball movies. Well, of course, Pride of the Yankees. And I'm not a Yankees fan, but Lou Gehrig. Come on. Gary Cooper. Right. My favorite, I'm going to go 3. My favorite is For Love of the Game with Kevin Costner, where he's Billy Chappell and he's at the end of his career and he throws a perfect game. It's a love story too with Kelly, John Travolta's ex-wife, the dearly departed Kelly. John Travolta's wife, Kelly Travolta. Beautiful girl. Oh God, so beautiful. And it's just such an endearing movie. John C. Reilly is in it. It's really, really great movie. That one is amazing. Another favorite of mine is The Natural with Robert Redford. What an amazing movie that is. Kelly Preston. Thank you, Melly C, very much. Kelly Preston. That movie, I like a good weepy romance. Like Notting Hill is one of my favorite movies, but I absolutely love For Love of the Game. It's an amazing. It's just about a story about a guy and a girl and the end of his career and how he balances shit. He's very famous. He's legendary. He's a future Hall of Famer for sure. But he's at the end of his rope. And, the dancer slows her frantic pace with pain and desperation, her aching limbs and downcast face aglow with perspiration. Does anybody know what song that is from? And Aaron O'Malley, shut up. Because you'll know it instantly. The dancer slows their frantic pace with pain and desperation. her aching limbs and downcast face aglow with perspiration. Because when an artist or an athlete is at the end of their career and they know it, it's a very, very sad day. Like what John Bon Jovi is trying to assert live on all the billions of interviews he's doing for his new shitty record. You know, because he had vocal surgery and whatever, and you know, like there's no Richie Sambora in that band anymore. Now it's just John Bon Jovi and friends, just like the Eagles are Don Henley and friends. Like, you know what? I mean, I can't imagine, and forgive me for being controversial if I am, but like, I can't imagine being so stupid that you wouldn't care about paying all that money to go see something when it's not who you're paying to see. I just don't like that. I mean, it seems mean to me to do that to the fans. So now, like, you go to see the Eagles. Yes, Joe Walsh is there. Joe Walsh, by the way, has never been a member of the Eagles. He's a salaried employee, always was. So is Timothy B. Schmidt. And that's only those three guys, but it's like so many other, it's like 12 other people on the stage. It's ludicrous. Now, Bon Jovi is, yeah, most of the original guys are there. No Richie, but that's like going to see the Stones without Keith Richards. Well, it's not exactly that, but you know what I'm saying. I digress. Field of Dreams. Yes. For love of the game, I think I'm going to watch Jaws. I think that's a great idea because I haven't seen the remastered version. It probably looks amazing. I love it. Roy Scheider. Oh my God. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. CW Watch enthusiasts, happy 4th of July to all the American bastards. Yes, sir. And yeah, thanks so much for that. I mean, it's a nice day. It's very quiet. There's usually this neighborhood has got tens of thousands of people clamoring to get close to the water so they can watch the fireworks in full display. And there's cops and food trucks and carts and all kinds of shit. And now there's none of it because it's all in Jersey. So Jersey got the brunt of it this year, which is fun. Mr. Niesentaz is here. Good evening, Dirkmeister and Bastardos. Good evening to you, sir. YouTube user. I like that. It's got a cigar in his hand. Happy 4th to all my American friends. Well, happy 4th of July to you and to any American friends who you might have as well. And is that a Cohiba? It is. He's smoking a Cohiba. So this is a YouTube user with taste, style, and distinction. Flashdance. Okay, so Flashdance, dear Andy M, was on Andy M was on the list of films I had never seen. Footloose, The Matrix, Flashdance. I never saw Flashdance. I finally saw it. I was like, I didn't need to see it. It's a really stupid movie. But I like Jennifer Beal. She's cool. But there's a bunch of those movies, like Pretty Woman. I'd never seen it. And it was cute. It was really cute. She's adorable in it. I mean, Jesus Christ. Of course, she's a big star. JHB is here. Robert Plant is performing this summer at Just at Jones Beach. Is he doing a solo tour? Or is it with Alison Krauss? Because I do believe that they have a new project together, and isn't that spectacular? Because she's what an artist that is. Alison Krauss in Union Station. She's an amazing musician, violin player, and what a vocal on her. And they got together. What an odd pairing it is, right? But it isn't, if you think about it, because some of the Led Zeppelin records from way back in the day, they had a Sandy Denny, who's from a group called Fairport Convention. They made a record called Liege and Leaf. That's one of my absolute favorites. Or is it Liege, Leaf and Liege? Could be. Forgive me, my dyslexia. Yeah. It's a great one. And they, Battle of Evermore. There's a lot of bluegrassy stuff in their sound. A lot of these bands, these British bands, they were copying Americana and early rock and roll. And then, U2 came up with all of that shit. They were obsessed with, the Great American Plains and Vegas and all that stuff. So as great as, like I've always said, the greatest rock and roll bands in the world are British because they just are. They're just the best. All the best. Everybody, they're the best. But everybody, inspiration comes from many, many places. So JHB says it's with Alison Krauss. Now that's a show I would consider seeing, but like I tried to get Tom Jones tickets because he's playing in Brooklyn and they were $1,500. And I was like, you know what? No, no. I want to see Tom Jones, but I refuse to be a contributor to that illegal monopoly that is Ticketmaster and StubHub and all of those. Like you can't physically. I'll never forget. Many years ago, I forget who it was. Somebody was playing Madison Square Garden. I knew tickets were going on sale at 10 o'clock. So I went to Madison Square Garden because I can get there in a couple of minutes. And I went there and I was like, can you tell me where the box office is? Can you tell me where the box office is? Can you tell me where the box office is? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, where can I go buy tickets? They go, well, you have to buy them online. I'm like, no, I want to buy the tickets straight from the box office. Like, we don't sell tickets at the box office. We have will call for the day of the show, but you can't walk up to a counter at the venue where this artist is playing and pay for tickets. And that was about 8 years ago. And I was just so disheartened by the whole thing because now you get these tickets. Now the tickets haven't gone on sale yet, but depending on the situation or the deal, American Express Gold Circle members will be allotted these tickets. Delta frequent flyer people will be allowed this. Barclays Bank will be allowed this. All these different, Citigroup will get that. All these different groups have already, the tickets have not been sold, but they're blocked out so the regular punters can't get them. So when I go to get it, they're either already sucked up by all the bots or American Express or whomever, and then they're verified ticket resales. There's a dot on them, and you click on it, it says verified ticket resale. So you can't actually get the tickets anymore. It's almost impossible, and it's really, really, really shitty. I don't like it. Teen says, amen to that new Bon Jovi album is garbage. I like that song. You know what? I like Bon Jovi. Don't get me wrong. I think he's made great music. I liked it. I've met him a couple times, and he was always very nice. I never met Richie Sambora. They haven't made a decent record in a long time because it's just so milk toasty, and music, it's maybe not their fault. The fault is, the way music changes. They kind of, Bon Jovi's trying to become, there's this thing, hear me out for a second. So there's a lot of artists, male artists, that all at the end of the day are trying to head towards a certain kind of respect. And it's not just artistic, but they want to become some kind of like legendary thing. And the last stop on that train is being considered Bob Dylan. And we've got so many people who have come close to that. Like there's Bob Dylan. Then we have Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen didn't give a fuck though, but he was already in there. Tom Waits, boom, boom, boom. Then you get Springsteen. All of a sudden, everybody starts talking like this. You got Bruce Springsteen, he talks like this, and then Bon Jovi's talking like this. They're all talking like they're from the Midwest, like they're, like Robert Zimmerman, Bob Dylan, everybody thinks like that they're going to become that. Why can't he be that? And then why is that? Tom Petty was headed towards that. All these people are headed towards this kind of like, I'm a poet and a musician at the same time. Listen, John, you were cute as fuck and you look great in spandex and shot through the heart, and you're to blame and you give love a bad name, or Bed of Roses or whatever. He wrote some really, really good songs, but Bob Dylan, this is not. So then he makes a country record, and then he starts collaborating with all these other artists who are on a different, forgive me for saying this, a different level of artistic integrity. Yeah, he might be richer than them. He might be way more successful than them. So way, way, way more records than them. But, and you know what? When Bon Jovi decides to sell his, like I heard Richie Sambora sold his portion of the catalog. And that's quite a hefty catalog. Their catalog is worth a lot of money, but it's not Bob Dylan and it's not Springsteen, and I'm not the biggest, I'm a bigger Bon Jovi fan than I am a Springsteen fan, but listen, I know how to do the math. I mean, I know who the greater artist is, and it's not John. Everybody starts, I don't know. Have you ever seen an interview with Springsteen? He's got this southern kind of accent. Blah, blah. Everybody starts mumbling and getting all weird. I could not get through Bruce Springsteen's audiobook. It was so mumbly. And I have maximum respect for him. And John Bon Jovi is just like, he's promoting this new record and, oh, woe is me, like he's on American Idol. Because everybody's got to have their woe is me story before they're like, well, I was crossing the street and I saw a chemtrail, and then a lady sneezed in a car, and I was so upset, and that's why I'm here. Or, whatever. It's just getting so ridiculous. Vasilios P, happy 4th of July. When is what's the number one holiday in Greece? Because I don't know. Melly C says Breakfast Club. I just watched it the other day because I watched the Brat Pack documentary. So then I watched the Breakfast Club and I was like, oh my God, these kids are so sad. They perform the Battle of Evermore. You know who does the Battle of Evermore very well? Hart. And I just want to send a shout out. I don't know her, but I've been a Hart fan my entire life. She and Wilson released a statement that she has cancer and she canceled all her dates. The greatest female rock singer of all time. I don't think it's even close. The greatest female rock singer. There's lots of great singers out there, but I think that she's the greatest rock singer. And we expect way too much of our aging artists. Now people are like, well, she doesn't sound as good. She's well into her 70s, and I think that's crazy. Scotty Love, am I correct? Is that a liberal landslide in Britain? It looks like to be the case. Ooh, you know who must be really upset right now? Polthorpe. Hands, knees, and toss. Easter. Well, of course. Okay, I guess it is, right? I always love that because, I have a very close friend of mine, Moose, who's, Greek. And I always have to ask him, when's Greek Easter this year? Because it's either right around it or a week before or 2 weeks after. I can never keep track of that. It's always fun to find out, though. Aline Gilbert, you came in 40. Hey, you know what? 40 is a great number. Look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful watch on the Milanese. It's a Seamaster, right? Look at that. Looking sexy. Oh, you have the blue one, huh? Look at that. Look at that. That looks great. That looks great. I love those. Everybody loves those. Han says Rob Lowe had the more level-headed rear view of that whole moniker. I think I mentioned this on the show, and if I did, tell me to shut up. The Brat Pack. It was everybody who was successful was fine with it, and everybody who struggled, it ruined them. So it's just a self-inflicted victim wound. Listen, if you want to be a victim, you can be a victim. You just act like a victim and blame everybody for everything. There are, and I always say this, there are actual victims in this world, people who are victims of assault or rape or murder, or these are victims. People who are kidnapped, people who are victimized. There are actual victims in the world. But just because somebody called you a cocky head does not make you a victim. The thing with the Brat Pack, the whole story behind that documentary was that, and Mimi and I got into it about it because she watched it and we felt exactly the same way. And I can't even remember McCarthy, right? The guy who was running the whole show. He didn't have a big career after that. And I forgot that Judd Nelson was on the Brooke Shields show, Suddenly Susan, and I forgot he didn't show up. He just didn't want to have anything to do with it. So, but they got Rob Lowe and Demi Moore, who are arguably the two most famous people who came out of there, right? And she being a megastar, or was a megastar, and it's kind of legendary now. Great book, you should read it. Demi Moore's got a great outlook on stuff. Listen, she parlayed that into a giant career, and she was very happy. Rob Lowe parlayed that into a giant career. Even had a sex tape scandal and a lot of crap. Their attitudes are just like, man, we got on with it and we moved on. You should too. You should get over it. And he just didn't look like he could. So it was kind of sad to watch that because Molly Ringwald, who I love, she didn't show up at all, but she was just on the Capote and the Swans thing. And and so was Demi Moore. Demi Moore had a nothing role, but she was great in it. Molly had a pretty big role in it, and she was not so great. Not such a good actress. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Who cares? Where is Nancy on your list for guitarist, Dirk? Listen, I have made this. Listen, she's one of the greatest. I'm such a giant Wilson Sisters fan. I'm such a Hart fan. I like almost all the incarnations. I love the original band. I love the 80s band with Mark Andes and Denny Carmassi, Howard Leese. I absolutely love it. Listen, without Nancy, there would never have been a Hart. with her dobro, with her mandola and mandolin, with her incredible 12-string stylings. She's just outrageous. She's not a lead guitar player. That's why she has Howard in the band to do that. And, she doesn't profess to be anything, but what she is fantastic. Incredible. Without her, there'd be nothing. I couldn't be a bigger fan of her than I am. I absolutely adore Nancy Wilson. Andrew appeared in too many of John Hughes' films, painted himself in. That could be very true. When it's so funny, like I was saying, McCarthy, I kept forgetting his first name because you know what? He hasn't been on my radar in 30 years because I can't think of a movie that he made. So the Brat Pack was arguably Molly Ringwald, Judd Nelson, Andrew McCarthy, Rob Lowe, Demi Moore. Is that everybody? Oh, Emilio Estevez. And Emilio Estevez has directed some middling to slightly successful films. And, that's about it. And he was kind of bitter about it too, but he's had success in a different strata than, say, Andrew McCarthy has had. Now, I watched the Brooke Shields documentary last night because Brooke Shields is from my age and she's from my era, and I remember everything about her. And it was a very interesting take on how her mother was a stage mother and she made her do some questionable things. To be very honest with you, she made a film called Pretty Baby that I can guarantee you would never be able to be made now. And I don't understand. Forgive me if I'm wrong here. I'll give you the for instance. So she did a photo shoot when she was 9 years old for a very prominent photographer who was a family friend. And at one point he says, hey, I'm doing a book for Rizzoli. Rizzoli is a big publisher, a big bookstore. It was, at least in New York, because on 57th Street. It was like anytime you see a famous New York bookstore, it's always Rizzoli's, which is gone because people don't read books. And he said, to her mother, would she be interested in doing some kind of Lolita style provocative photos, meaning nudes? And he took photographs of her all dolled up like in a baby pageant. What do you call those things? When the kids are dressed in makeup and hair and pearls and makeup and stuff. And she's a child, like it would be one thing for you to be at your backyard pool and your kids are your 6 to 8-year-old kids are running around naked. Who cares? It's not a big thing. But he photographed her for this book. And apparently the book was published. It was artistic. Everybody thought it was beautiful. Nobody said boo diddly. 1, that would never happen now. 2, when she was 16 years old, the same photographer took the negatives and tried to shop them around to get them published in like some kind of erotica and or other publications. Now, today he would be immediately sent to prison because this is now child pornography. You cannot take provocative photographs of children in that kind of context. It's just... But were you allowed to do that in the 70s and 80s? I find that hard to fathom. And he won. He was allowed to the judge sided with him. It was not a jury trial. It was a judge trial. The judge had the final word. And he said, no, you lose, because they tried to stop it, saying these were for a specific thing, not for this. We don't want these exploited. She's a 9-year-old girl. She lost. How is that possible? I don't know. How did I get on that? Horrible. Anyways, good documentary. She's a likable person. Andrew was way too earnest and thespianish. I don't know how good a thespian he was, though. I mean, people don't think that Demi Moore is a good actress, and I think she's a fine actress. I love G.I. Jane, one of my favorite. I love that movie. Hanson says, Dirk, did you ever hear John Martin, 70s folk singer, guitarist, English, great album called Solid Air? I certainly have not. Doesn't even strike a bell. But very interesting. I'd like to hear it, and I will Google that. And I've got my trusty pad here, and I will write it down right as we speak. Thank you for that. I always write down what your suggestions are, dear Bashtardos. John Martin. Thank you. I like to go around with my headphones on the street when I'm doing errands and things and listening to music that I finally stopped listening to that Willow song because enough. Yesterday, I just listened to Rush Signals. Anyway, the Dancer Slows. Nobody got that, huh? I guess the O'Malleys are not in the room because it's Rush and it's a song called Losing It from the Signals record. Very, very good and so original for that time. Oh, that's very cool. I'm very excited. I love hearing some great original new music. Thank you for that. Oh man, Ray, I got that. I have Midnight Express on Blu-ray because that is a movie that everyone needs to see. That thing. They sure friggin' do. It's quite a startling film, and if anybody hasn't seen Midnight Express, it's outrageous. But you know what it's time for, everybody? Your favorite part of the show and mine.
The gallery of Bashtards, send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The gallery of Bashtards, you share them with me, and I share with the
world. I hope everyone in my extended family is having a great 4th of July. All my friends and family, all the people in this world who I love, including you, the Bashtardos. I hope it's a special day. I hope you guys are all barbecuing and eating great food and enjoying whatever summer libations that it is that you enjoy, because this is a day for people to remember the freedoms that they have. And while I don't agree with a lot of the so-called freedoms that people think that most Americans have, I think we are entitled to them, and I think that it stands for that. There is a reason why that flag is so, it's the most beautiful flag. I mean, physically, it's beautiful because it used to represent something. And I think that's probably part of it. I like a lot of flags. Not everybody's got a pretty flag. It's kind of the most beautiful one. And it used to stand for something. And I'll never forget when I was young, there was a movie called Not Without My Daughter. And I'm not trying to be controversial. There's lots of beautiful, but some of them are just blah, 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 or just blah, blah, blah. This is a real design. It's really, really pretty. I was watching a movie called Not Without My Daughter. And if anybody's ever seen that, it's Sally Field, and she lives in Iran with her husband, and everything's going great until the fall of the Shah. And then the Ayatollah comes into power, and the husband decides that he's going to take their daughter away from her. So she steals the daughter and she makes her way out. And at the very end of the movie, she doesn't know where she is. She's been through hell. It's been horrible, horrible, horrible for her. And she sees that flag waving in the distance, and she knows she's made it to the American embassy. And it's like, everything's going to be great. Now, we'd love to think that that's all true. Of course, we know that it isn't to a lot of extent. A lot of problems with a lot of different countries. But I still think that imagery stands for something. And I think it should. And I think that we should hold people responsible who are the gatekeepers, who are the people that are supposed to ensure that it protects our freedoms. And I don't think that everybody's all that interested in doing that, because there's, flip sides, hard lefts and hard rights that want extreme versions of this. They want everybody to be Christian, or, that's not what we were built on. They want everybody to be white. That's not what we were built to be. They want everybody to be this, that, or the other. And it's like, you know what? It's a melting pot country. We had to create a culture because we didn't have an ancient one. So it's an amalgam of all these beautiful different cultures coming in and creating this cauldron of stuff. And listen, I too voice my opinions, and I'm not a hypocrite. I will say there's way too much of this shit going on. We're giving way too much of that crap away. We're, what's in it for me? Listen, I'm not overtly homosexual, so people right off the jump don't know that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I can get away with just being a white guy. Just being a regular white straight guy. I can get away with it. People think so. And you know what? Yeah, it's true. We were entitled and got so much shit for so long, way too long. And a lot of people didn't. I totally concur. That really did happen. But it's such a ridiculous change that now it's just like, fuck that guy. And I don't want to be fuck that guy. I want to be holding the door open for people and saying nice things. That's why I want to get the fuck out of here. Because I feel like it's slowly turning me into the type of person I don't ever, ever want to be. I want to be happy to see everyone at all times, happy to hold the door open and say please and thank you and be grateful for all of it. I want to be that guy. And I think that's what that flag was supposed to ensure to everyone. But, it's like why communism is a great idea. It just doesn't work. That's why socialism, for the most part, is this compromise, because a lot of it works and some of it doesn't. Some of it does. Communism, it's great on paper, but there's always going to be those greedy guys that want to live in the big palace and, want to be the oligarchy dudes. And there's always going to be those, just because people want more. And in general, people are capitalists innately. They want Rolex, they want Gibson, they want Mercedes-Benz. They want stuff. We want nice things. But if you really, truly, and utterly lived in a country like that, you couldn't. And nobody's ever had to really do that, other than in super oppressed countries, like even in Russia. There was plenty of guys in the 40s and 50s that were rocking Rolexes. Plenty of them. They weren't also on the line to get bread, though, And the same shit happens here in America, Socialist countries, I think, have a kind of, like Europe. Europe has this great balance of making sure their people are, have health care. Maybe you have to wait a little while. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. And I'm willing to subject myself to that for the rest of my life. Somebody said, yeah, but if you have a brain tumor, hey, Jeff Tate from Queensrÿche, we were talking about Queensrÿche the other day. He had to have a valve replaced, and he went to Germany to do it. Because you think Germany's got great doctors? Absolutely, they do. Yeah. No, of course it's a great country, Travis. Of course it is. The reason that millions come here, including my beautiful wife of 20 years. Of course it is. Because that does stand for something. It does. Listen, Gene Simmons, who was born in Haifa, Israel, from Kiss, he was Chaim Witz, then he became Gene Klein, then he became Gene Simmons, and he's the most patriotic person in the whole wide world, because he said the opportunities that he was afforded as a child immigrant would never have happened to him anywhere else. They went to Israel and it did not work out for them. They couldn't get a leg up. They were trying to, but they couldn't get a leg up. And then they emigrated to the United States, and his mom got a tough job, but she made sure he got a great education. He became a school teacher, and then he became a quadrillionaire in Kiss. So of course it's an amazing country. It's just, we have got bad eggs, like every country in the world. We've got a lot of bad eggs, and you just have to pick and choose wisely. And when one of those bad eggs gets into a type of a situation where they're running a certain thing that you're involved in, be it politically or in your job or whatever, you have to learn how to dance around that. And it is your prerogative to do so. You can figure out ways to not let that affect you. That's my problem. I let stuff eat me alive. When people are bad people, I just wallow in like, how could anybody be so horrible? And my sister says, fuck them. She's right. It's totally true. Anyway, the Gallery of Bastards. That's what we're supposed to be talking about, but I digressed in a very, very hard way. Anyway, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Listen, I've said this a million times. Like, I don't want to go to war. I don't want to have to kill people in the name of my country. I can't believe that anybody ever has to do that, and they do. And I'm lucky that I fell into an age gap where I wasn't one of those people that was drafted, but it was a thing that people went and did. There is no draft in the United States. That does not exist. It has not existed in my lifetime. Well, in my lifetime, yes, but not in my, it was over I believe in the late 70s. People had to go. They had to get on the plane, get on the boat, and they had to go learn how to use weapons and go kill people and stuff, all in the name of democracy, or and it's not just us. It's Israel. They make everybody go to most countries make you go to service and learn how to fight for your country. It's a tough call. Tough call. Anyway, that was heavy. Let's do the Gallery of Bastards, because that's way more fun, isn't it? Let's start out with Mr. Aaron O'Malley. And thank you, Travis. And you're absolutely 100% correct. He says a lion. He's out. Aaron O'Malley, he's out making his appointed rounds. And look at this beautiful kitty cat. Oh, man, that is a beauty if I've ever seen one. Wow. What a lovely. Is that a girl? It looks like a girl, but it could be a fella, because they're felines. That's quite beautiful. Thank you, Mr. O'Malley. He's not here, though, because he would have known that Rush song instantaneously. Dean McKenzie, let's share the screen with him. You share them with me, and I share with the world. Look at this Abbey Ruins. Wow, that is gorgeous. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Think about that, too. Think about all these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Gothic structures, all these ruins that people spent all this time, the pyramids, they spent all this time and devotion to build these monuments. Incredible. Incredible what humans are capable of achieving. Incredible. Isn't that lovely? Did you do that, Lon? I don't know if you did, but it's big. Wow. Wow, that's big. I think an Iron Maiden video was shot in there. I could be wrong. Oh, Aaron's there. Hey, Aaron. You can see her brother on the bench behind. I didn't see that. I'll go back, though. I think there was an Iron Maiden song. I think it's Can I Play with Madness? I think it might have been shot in that very place. Listen, I know a lot of ruins look the same, but I'm thinking possibly that's quite beautiful. What an artistic shot as well. Yeah, it kind of looked like that. So I could be right. I could be wrong too. I don't know. Ah, that's nice. At one time filled with stained leaded glass. Oh. I love vaulted ceilings. See, man, wouldn't that make a fantastic restaurant? I mean, they could do it. We have several deconsecrated churches in New York that are beautiful restaurants and bars and stuff. They took Jesus out. Wow, everybody's on a tour. Oh, wow, look at that. Whew. That's amazing. Thank you, kind sir. Thank you, Dean. And let me just read the email so everybody knows what we just looked at. Fountains Abbey Monistic in Ripon. Is it Ripon or Ripon? World Heritage Site. Absolutely beautiful. Let's go back to Aaron O'Malley's shot so we can see the brother in the background, which I didn't see the first time around. But I'll blow it up. Oh, so pretty. Oh, look at that. Was this a park, Aaron, or was this like somebody's, front garden? Oh, you're a beauty. Absolute beauty. Travis Watts says, my wife, now a naturalized citizen, is perplexed at how much Americans complain we are spoiled compared. Oh, 100%. 100%. Spoiled to the high heavens. You know what? Listen, that's another thing. It takes a person who's immigrated to another country to appreciate what that country has to offer, because it afforded them stuff that they couldn't get in their former country. May I ask, privately or publicly, what country she immigrated from? You could send that to me at Basherdirk@gmail.com, or if you don't want to answer that, it's up to you. But because I'm sure the answer is not going to be like Germany or France. France is up Schitt's Creek right now too. They've got a lot of unrest there. It's really not very good. Not so good. Oh, I want to let everybody know that Julian is going through a procedure tomorrow, but it's supposed to be the final to get him back on track. So everybody say a good little word out for our dear friend Julian Huxley. Sent me a message saying tomorrow, it's like the equivalent of getting stitches taken out. So it's supposed to be putting him back on the road to full recovery, which we want so very much for him. And isn't he the greatest? Andrew Wolkowicz in the chat. Fuck the bed. Let me go find a blanket I can just, and you know what they do? They walk around and they move it around until it's exactly perfect. And they get up and then they turn around and then they sit down and then they get up and they turn until they make it exactly the way they want it. Unbelievable. She's a beauty. What a beauty. What an absolute beauty. She's a beauty. 1 in a million girl. 1 in a million girl. This is a good one. Happy Treason Day, you ungrateful colonials. Hey, you got the same treatment on your flag that I have on mine. But listen, all empires fall, and I always say we could be on the cusp of that here, because there's so much division, and the only way we can unite is to find our commonality, and that's terrible. Peru. See, now that's a place that I'm dying to see because it's such a significant cultural site of the world, of planet Earth, in terms of architecture and civilization. From what they have an Orient Express there. Isn't that first world? We can go to Machu Picchu and all that stuff. That's a place. We were just recently talking about South America, and I said the two places I'd like to see most is Peru. I'd love to see it. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you for that. Thank you for telling us. Melly C says, thank you. Dean says, Julian, hearts and prayers. Melly C says, sending prayer to Julian. He's having a very quick in and out thing, but it's the end to that horrific thing that he's been on for the longest time. And luckily, this should be the end of his whole ordeal, and he'll be on the mend. That's what we want. This is from Mr. Minichiello. Look at this rainbow between showers. Look how you captured that. I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. Jimmy Webb, Glenn Campbell. No one else should ever cover that song. If they do, they're ridiculous. Shouldn't be done. Should not be done. Absolutely not. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but Angela sent me a link to a video. Let me see if this will play. I think it does. This is one of his watches that he owns. If you send me a YouTube link, it works. Angelo owns one of these. As you all know, Angelo's got a lot of interesting pieces. But look at this thing. Hey, Aaron, remember you talking about one-handed watches the other day? Look at the way you tell time on this thing. Holy smokes! Japanese designs are crazy, right? And then it's a very long video, but he shows you the history. I'm going to watch the whole thing, obviously. And this is Watch Reporter, I believe. This guy's got a really cool channel. I watch it all the time. I believe it's from Watch Reporter. I think, right? Is it Watch Reporter? I can't tell from the link, but anyway. Next up on the gallery of bashers, it's Ray Ray. It's Ray Ray. I believe, Travis, that wasn't Quantum of Solace. A lot of it shot in Peru. It's where they killed what was his name? Shit. I'm like the biggest Quantum fan in the world. That's such a much derided film that I think is fantastic. It's taut and exciting. I forget his name. Matthew Amalak is the actor. Matthew Amalak. And I forget his name, but they leave him in the desert, and he can either walk or drink the motor oil, and he winds up drinking the motor oil. This is look at that's very cool. Look at that. Oh man, Oisin's gonna love this one. The Irish, but look at that. The Grace O'Malley sailboat. Amazing. Isn't that cool? He's gonna love that. He's gonna absolutely love that. You guys are so cute. You're so cute, you two. This is great. This is making the rounds around. This is from Ray Ray as well. This, I swear to God, your aunt on Facebook right now. Do you know I'm on Facebook? I'm very rarely, if ever, on there, so don't even worry about it. I don't pay attention to it. I got off there for shit like that. Like, look at that. It's Jesus Christ saying, it's okay. They called me guilty too. People were actually posting that on Facebook. And I don't care what your political slant is on anything, because I vote both sides of the aisle all the time. And I don't hate him nearly as much as everybody else does, because I just think he's amusing as fuck. However, this is just pushing it, kids. Equating him with Jesus Christ is just no. Don't do that. Can you not? Can you just not do that? I'd really appreciate it. Hey, the incomparable Becky Brown back in town. Becky, I love when you show up in the show. Look at that. First of all, this photography is outrageous. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Wow. That is crazy. Are you in Monaco? The Principality de Monaco. Wow. Shit. Oh, it said Monaco on the email, and I was like, oh, she's got a couple of Hoyers. Oh, no, she's in Monaco. Wow. Look at that. Woo. First of all, can I say that is maybe the most beautiful color in the world? Fuck. That color is everything. Wow. What do you think the correct color that's called? I mean, I don't know. It's not teal because there's not enough green in it. It's not cobalt because it's not dark enough. What color would you call that? It's outrageous. Oh, wow. That's a Jaguar. Look at how pristine these are. Wow. Woof. Holy shit. That's green. Wow. There's more. Wait, there's more. That's just one email from the incomparable Becky Brown. There's a bunch of them. Oof. Oh my. This is a Grace Kelly machine if I ever saw one. Wow. Holy crap. Was that her car? I always think of her like with a scarf on, blowing in the breeze, with Gary Cooper. Wow, that's beautiful. Oof. What is that? I don't even know. I should know, but I don't. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's an Austin something, but it's not an Aston Martin Aztec. I don't know what that is. It's beautiful. Oof. Here's a big American car. That is a Cadillac, baby. That's a 1959 Cadillac. With big fins. I like 60 better. I know 59 is the big year for Cadillacs, but I like 60 better because they got rid of the big fins, but it's so origami. I love it. Wow, look at that. It's gorgeous. Carolyn Martin, are you here seeing these? You should be dying. This is amazing. Dude, that color too. These colors are crazy. Now that's an Alpha. I know that. Wow. Wowee. But wait, there's more. Becky Brown, you are on fire. She's on fire. Fire. Oh, now we get some F1, right? Look at this crazy shit. Wow. That's a Ferrari. Well, Oh my God. Is that an Avanti? Oh, it's a Maserati Mistral. Pininfarina. Oh boy. Oh boy. Pininfarina is the company that made all the great bodies for all the great cars of Italy. I don't know if they do. I think they still do Ferrari, of course, the classic. Unbelievable. My sister had this in the Barbie version when we were kids in green. Look at that. That's a Ferrari. Isn't that funny? It's just a racing tube. And it's a green Ferrari. That's even crazier. It's like Rolex green, too. If anything's Rolex green, it's that. Oh, there you go. That's more Ferrari red. Well, you would think that that's not very aerodynamic. I know they're trying to get as much air in to the intake as possible, but it just seems like it would also slow the car down immeasurably. Doesn't it? It sure does to me. But, nowadays it's completely different. Nowadays it's completely different. Oh, boy. Now, this looks like Becky Brown on fire. Now, that is a Porsche for sure. A Ferrari in the back. Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. Wow. Porsche. That's a Countach, a Lamborghini Countach, which was like the the car that everybody aspired to if you were a young guy who played guitar in the 80s, you know. It was after everybody wanted the GT308, the one that Thomas Magnum drove. Nice. A Jeep. It's a very famous petrol station in Italy. And there's an Alfa with Pirellis. Wow. Cool. I hope you have that. There's more. Let me see. I want to make sure you have the one with the Ferrari in it. I didn't miss it, right? I'm just trying to make sure I didn't, because there's a lot of emails. Okay, I stand corrected, Miss Brown. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely Oya. And it is lovely. Oh, look at that. Oh, several. I said it. I think she's going to have a couple of Monacos. And she did. But she was also in Monaco. Oh, that's quite beautiful. The Silverstone. Wow. I absolutely love that. That I would love. I love the TV dials. I love them. I love them. I love them. Oof, that's sick. I mean, oof, God, that's amazing. Whoa. Oof, the Ottavia is gorgeous. Wow. Wow. And there, look at that. Oh, man. Oshevitz. Were these on display or are these part of your private collection? The classic. Look at that. Wow. Oh, that's Tag Heuer. Oh, these are tags. That's a real one. That's a real one. That's a real one. That's a real one. I mean, I don't think they should have ever put tag on the dial, but that's just me. That's just me and my infinite cuntiness. What can I tell you? Scotty Love sent. Oh, he sent me an email. Okay, I'll read that afterwards. Oh, there's no drawing in there. Oh, he says it's not as good as the other one. Let us be the judge. Rayman said, somebody say Jaws. Oh, that's cute. Ray. Oh, you have a whole Jaws collection. Well, you should, right? Because you kind of do that. Amazing. Look at that. And the watches on there. Isn't that great? That's amazing, Ray. Keep it up, buddy. Amazing. And Carolyn Martin. Look at this. Ready, guys? For all of you Bashtardo winners out there. And look at that. This is the process by which Carolyn Martin is creating the official iBashers pen. Holy smokes. And Maniac is wearing an Explorer 2 Polar while doing it. Oh my God, you're crazy. Look at that. She's actually wearing that while making those. I would so not do that. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're crazy, Carolyn Martin. You're crazy, Carolyn Martin. Incredible. Absolutely. That is her making that. They're in production, ladies and gentlemen. Those are ready to go. And thank you for the gallery of...
The gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots that sublime the absurd. The gallery of Bashtards. You share them with me, and I share with the world.
The world. Let's close it up by reading the last of today's 4th of July comments. And Melly C sending prayers to Julian for speedy recovery. Dean Julian. Travis Watt says, Peru is a developing country that I've visited many times over the last 20 years. Every time I visit, you can see the improvement. I believe it. Many may actually buy some real estate there in the future. You certainly should. You deserve it. I'm sure she'd love that too. Andy M says, Godspeed, Julian. Hitesh She says, Happy Independence Day to our American friends down south. Indeedy. Carolyn Martin says, Julian, you'll be in our prayers, and you know that that's true. Hans Niesendas with you on Quantum. Underrated. I agree. Dirk, for that tutor I sent into the showcase, anybody know how to contact tutor to find out more information about it? I will reach out to all the Intelligista I know and find out if I can. I definitely will. Do me a favor. Can you send me that picture once again so it's at the top of my email? Because, I get like 150 emails a day. If you could... just send it once more. Just resend it to me, Hitesh, and I will. And then I'll just get cracking on that right away. Thank you so much for that. Quantum of Solace had filming in Chile, just south of Peru. Oh, I think they were trying to pretend it was Peru, though, right? That's what they said it was. Aaron O'Malley says is a great singer, country singer. That's funny because I know how to yodel-hee-hoo. I'm a good yodeler. My sister actually has a very nice country sound. She would have been a great country singer. Hitesh C is talking about that color blue that I said was absolutely gorgeous. He says peacock blue. That could be absolutely true. Han says, I even like Another Way to Die. Oh, I can't go down that. You know what? Listen, it's got a great beat. I love the drums on that record. Aaron, if you never listened to this song, it's a terrible song. However, the drums on it are great. And I believe that Jack White played them. I'm not a Jack White person. I don't get what he does, but I like everything he does. It's not bad. It's weird, but she comes in and absolutely ruins the song. She's out of tune and she's screechy, and it's just down, 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 down. I think she's a shitty piano player, and I'm just not. I just never drank the Alicia Keys Kool-Aid. I don't get her. She had like one or two good songs. Jack White, I don't get him. He's an artist that I just don't understand. That doesn't mean he's not great. It just means he doesn't speak to me, and that's what makes the world go round. Art speaks to different people at different times. Alicia Keys, I also don't like her attitude. I'd probably like her music more if she didn't come off as, cunty as she does. And she's just a little bit of a architectural digest. These are my fancy things. And, listen, fancy things are nice. We all like them. But, I don't see a whole lot of humility in that. But I'm not going to go off on her because I don't know her personally. But I do know a couple of things that she's done to other people that I know that I don't like. So therefore, I'm not a fan. But him, I think he's interesting. I mean, because now all the songs are all these big sweeping Adele, Billie Eilish, the one that what's his face did, Sam Smith, whom I despise, that guy. His song was horrific. But Chris Cornell, that song, You Know My Name, that's a slammer murderer. Hitesh sees that British Racing Green is amazing. I concur. Stratton and Brew have nice TV dials. They sure do. I love them. 20th Century Boy. Hey, 20th Century Boy. Love Vintage Hoyer. So do I. I love them. Who doesn't? Travis says the Mito Multifor has a great TV dial. I love that watch too. You guys are picking the great ones. You know what I'll do? I'll look up a couple of specimens for those to see if we can talk about them on the next one. Tomorrow, of course, I am in here with the big guy. I start out the show. He's going to do Who Needs a Drink. I'm not going around town. I'll be in the studio regular to 6 o'clock. And I'll crack open a bottle of wine, have a drink with you guys tomorrow. How fun will that be? Saturday, I've got a birthday. I just realized I just double booked. I got to call my friend Spence, my dear friend Spence in Ireland. She's like, how about Saturday? I'm like, Saturday sounds good. Actually, Saturday's bad because I am going to a cruise around New York City with my father-in-law for his birthday. And so I have to text her that right away. $20 from Travis Watts, Super Sticker. Let's give you, what haven't we played in a while? What do you have not gotten? Let's give you this, baby. Thank you so much, Mr. Watch. Angelo Minichello just got in. We'll watch it later. I don't think I mind saying that I'm going to have a meet and greet with Mr. Minichello. That's happening. If you come to New York, give me an email and we'll go have a drink. And you know how many of you I've met so far? Two so far. Now, anybody who wants to go skydiving with me, I'm pushing it back to August only because I heard July is it's booked solid, and I want to go when it's quieter. So maybe even early September. Anybody who wants to do that, if you're going to be in the New York area, you can certainly do that. You know what I mean? It'll be fun. I'm not trying to kill you or anything, but it would be fun if we go and jump out of a plane together or anything else. But if you're in town, give me a shout. If you're not like don't want to be bored. And, I won't take up too much of your time. You just want to get together for a drink and a little chat and you talk about the show and all the stuff we like to talk about. It'll be great. Nita Pritz just showed up. Oh, just got everybody's show went up so late. I know it's a holiday. Guess I'll be rewatching this. Great to see you though in the room, man. So I'll be back tomorrow after Who Needs a Drink, and we'll do some fun stuff tomorrow, for sure. Guys, just remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And always remember that when you encounter unkindness, you can't always know what that person's going through. Give them enough rope because it's the 4th of July. And you know what? They might be having a bad day. Either that, or you know what they might be? They might be a big